Great seasons never go exactly as planned. In fact, many of them have significant obstacles along the way, such as key injuries. What makes those seasons truly great is someone steps up and answers the call. In the 2024 Sun Devils had Xavier Guillory. After the unfortunate injury to Jordyn Tyson, Guillory put together a scorching finish to the year, scoring 4 touchdowns in key Sun Devil victories, including an all-time performance in the Big 12 title game. He also continued to put in the hard work as a downfield blocker, helping to spring numerous big runs for the Sun Devil ground game throughout the entire year. On this episode, we discuss his clutch contributions and catches, working with Hines Ward, the lessons he learned over his ASU career, his prep for the NFL, next year's batch of Sun Devil wide receivers, and more. So let's get to it. Here's my conversation with Xavier Guillory. All right, Xavier, we're going to start off with a question from a teammate, kind of with the new thing this year. Kind of the guy on the last episode is going to start off with the question for you. This one, Trenton Bourget wants you to pick this weekend's conference championship game winners and go out on a limb and say who you think is going to win the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win again against the Bills. They're on a roll, and they're in Arrowhead, I believe. I think they're at the Chiefs Stadium.
Yeah.
And I think Pat Mahomes is going to cement himself as like a top 2 greatest quarterback of all time and get another Super Bowl. Because whoever wins out of the Eagles and the Commanders, I want the Commanders to win because I want to see that Jalen Daniels do well. But I feel like whoever comes out of the Bills and Chiefs game is going to win that Super Bowl. So I probably got the Chiefs winning it again and Pat Mahomes getting his 4th.
Ugh, it's going to be tough for me as a Steelers fan, but yeah, they're the machine right now.
They're just cooking, and they got the league behind them too. So
that's true. That's true. All right. So as you close the chapter on the college part of your playing days, a lot of big catches in your career, both as a Sun Devil and also prior at Idaho State. What's your favorite catch that you made at the college level?
I'd probably say one of the more memorable ones that I've had was my first touchdown at Idaho State. But if we're just going based off my best catch, I'd probably have to say the one in the Big 12 championship. I've had some really good catches, like difficult ones, but that one in the time and situation, I've had ones where I've had to jump over people. I've never had one where I had to like contort my body across and catch it with my fingertips without looking at it. So I'll probably say that was probably my most difficult catch. If I had to replicate it again, I probably could do it, but it'd be really hard.
Yeah, because that was my next question. Like, where did the one in the title game that kind of rank in the degree of difficulty? Because even looking back at it, it's just like how in the physical world that we occupy were you able to make that grab?
Yeah, it was just one of those ones where backyard football, you don't really practice those ones. You just kind of, over time, you just your body can do pretty amazing things if you want it bad enough. So that one was. So it was just in one of those in the moment type things, but I'm sure if I get that opportunity again, I can find a way to make a crazier catch. So,
of course, with the spotlight that was placed on you and the team as you guys are making your late season run into the playoff and everything. I know in the last podcast that we talked, trying to be an example for other Native athletes was a very important aspect of you and what you're trying to do. Given that run and the national stage you had, how impactful do you think? How rewarding was it for you to be able to do that? And of course, the touchdown celebrations and the warrior heritage. How impactful was that for you?
It meant the world to me just to be able to finally have a stage to be able to get that message across for my people and give them something to root for athletically and spiritually beyond just sports. I want people to be motivated and know where my success comes from, and it comes from the Lord and hard work. And it's just something that I was, prayed long and hard for, just to have that opportunity. And Lord, when I can have that same opportunity and get to the NFL, that's what I'm down here in Florida training for right now. But having that platform, it wasn't the biggest one, but I'm glad I was able to have something just to be able to do something for my people. And there's just people that come up to me randomly, people I don't even know, random Native Americans, and you don't know who you're inspiring, you don't know who's watching, and that's something that I gotta be mindful of, is that you never know who you may may touch, and it could be from a different state, it could be from a whole different background from you that you wouldn't even guess or think that they would be watching you, but they are. So it's important to conduct yourself as best as possible. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have my downfalls at times, but I try in a sense to do right even when nobody's watching, and having integrity in everything I do. But yeah, I was definitely glad this year. I you know I was able to have somewhat of an impact for my people and help that cause for us to have something to push forward and look forward to.
And of course, that having that larger spotlight, came, and unfortunately when JT went down, but in that moment, of course, with you guys heading into a conference championship game, what was that wide receiver room mentality like? You, Melquan, Troy, all the guys in there, knowing that there's going to be more of an opportunity to step up and help this team, ultimately get a conference crown and into the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously JT's a great player, and then like I've been saying, you don't want to ever see anybody go down. But that is the game. People get injured. I went injured last year. I missed half the season last year off of injury, so I know how it feels. If anybody, I know how it feels. So, but that's what I came in for. Nobody comes to not just block the whole time as a receiver. Obviously came in with Cam Scoutable, so it kind of changed for me. We threw to one receiver this year, but it was just something that I had to do, just be a pro about it, not let it get in my head too much. And when that happened with JT, I just had to be ready for my opportunity. Whatever opportunities I got, I just try to make the most of them. I didn't have that as many catches as I wanted to as a Sun Devil. Didn't have the career I wanted to personally as a Sun Devil, but I know what I could have done. Um, and you guys seen glimpses of it when I did get an opportunity and the plays I was able to make. But it was just one of those things where just stay ready. You don't have to get ready. It was tough to keep pushing through injury, through little knick-knack stuff, but it is what it is. And moving forward, I know I got a chance to make a career in the NFL. So I'm gonna work hard to make sure that happens, and then Lord willing, I can get in a position where I can make those types of plays more consistently and have a team that can put that trust in me.
And looking back, at that Peach Bowl, the way that you guys were able to cap the season, where
Uh-huh.
does that rank in terms of just like the wildest or craziest games? First,
Yeah,
not things not going necessarily the way you guys want in the first half, but just an epic second half and overtime periods.
yeah, that was a crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm still, it still feels new to me. But it was just like a movie ending for for the seniors, especially. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously, it had what happened. We made a comeback and had a win right there. But it just the ball didn't roll our way um, that game. But we I feel like we laid a good foundation for the rest of the guys. Set a standard for the rest of the players to follow. Now that's we had a lot of talent on the team, but we also just outplayed and out hustled a lot of people to get to where we were, and that was just hard. All you saw in that second half was just hard, and even that first overtime was just hard. And that's really what you want for the guys. But yeah, that was the craziest game I've ever been a part of. I'm sure for a lot of the coaches and players too, that's probably the craziest game they've been a part of. And but and when it ended, I was just thankful. I was hurt, but I was thankful for my time in college at Idaho State and Arizona State. So there was some peace behind it to where I was ready to move on. And it was a great honor just to be here and be in that situation in the first place.
What do you think the performance in the Peach Bowl and national stage, but even before, and just kind of the way you guys were able to finish this season, obviously ultimately ranking number 7 in the final poll, but kind of coming from last season to where you guys ended up is the number 7 in the team in the polls. What do you think this group of 2024 Sun Devils was able to say to the world?
Just every year is a new year. You don't. That's why you play the games. You don't listen to outside noise. People are gonna say what they're gonna say, man. Especially athletes in this era. We care so much about what people say on social media about us and what news critics and like these people aren't in your shoes. They're just gonna do reports on you and say what they want about you and this and that. And you can't get caught up in that because then you just be. I was a victim of that where it's just like being in the middle of the ocean, just getting tossed by every wave. You just got to have some form of stability and security about yourself, and know, they're not here at the workout seeing what we're seeing. So um, we want this. That's a message for everybody. Just if you aren't in sports, just if you know what you're doing is correct, and you're doing the right work, and you're doing it for the right reasons, and no matter what anybody says, it shouldn't ruin your day or ruin your mood with it. You can use certain things as fuel, but just don't take everything to heart. And if you know you got something special, then go forward in that, and don't. Every day is a new day. Every week's a new week, month to month, year to year. So hit that reset button, and turn off all the news, delete social media for a little while, and just refocus.
What do you feel now that the seasons behind you that made this team so resilient, so able to overcome adversity, and what obviously would ultimately made you guys such a special team?
hmm Everybody just kind of came together, had each other's back, and we kind of stopped caring so much about you know personal accolades as much, and we just wanted to play for each other and win. Found ways to do that. We had some really talented receivers, running backs, even quarterbacks. We had some talented quarterbacks and defensive players that were all just like willing to make that sacrifice and lay down, sacrifice one another on the field. And if that meant blocking as a receiver, that's what we were going to do. If that meant scat blocking for Sam so he can get some time, that's what he's going to do. If that meant battling through some injuries to play, that's what we were going to do. So it was just sacrifice, what you were willing to do and mentally endure. Um, You'd be surprised what you can do if you have 22 guys, um, that offense and defense that are willing just to, endure and get to that next level, get to that next step. It was just all mental at that point. It was just heart, and that mentality that we had, and just getting behind our leaders and letting the leaders lead and make plays. So it was that's what you saw this year. Even after losses, we bounced back, and injuries, we bounced back, and it was just a quality team, and I hope to be a part of a team like that again.
For you, what was the most rewarding aspect of being able to be part of the group that, turned around the trajectory of Sun Devil football? And the last couple years had been a real dark period for the program, but to where you guys were able to elevate it, and the arrow continues to be pointing upwards. How rewarding was that to be part of that solution for you?
It's pretty rewarding, man, and I'm glad I stuck it out. Um, it was a rough transfer initially in that 2023 season, but stayed for 2024, and it taught me a lot of personal lessons too, just about like what it takes to be part of a championship team, what it looks like just to be a champion every day. Learning from my coach Ward, and what helped me a lot. I was with him every single day, and just getting around guys on the team that have the same mindset as you, and what you can do with that, with people that want to work, stay extra, or do extra, and that all they care about is achieving higher and higher every single day. So it meant a lot to me to be around those guys, and it taught me how to do a lot more, to work on myself than anything. So I have a lot to thank to my teammates and to my coach and Coach Ward. It just meant a lot to me to be part of that program.
And of course, along with just getting the wins and having the success the team did, it kind of woke up the valley, activated the valley, as Kenny likes to say. What was it like just to see the fan reaction, and just kind of how this Sun Devil Nation kind of took to this team? And after you mentioned after a dark couple of years, you guys being such a beacon of light.
Yeah, mostly for the people that stuck with us through those dark times. Because I know there was, even for me personally, there was people that I haven't spoken to in 5+ years that were asking me for tickets and asking me for the ins and outs of the games. But I'm talking to the fan. I'm specifically talking to the fans that came to our practices or came to the games, the spring ball games. To those people that stuck it out with us, that's really who I'm happy that we did it for. And for the new fans that are kind of coming up, like any of the kids or anything, I want them to have those moments to remember those, because I remember those games when I was younger, to going to different colleges and seeing good teams that made you want to, be, be like that someday, or be in a situation, or just inspire the youth, and inspire, and, give the fans who stuck around something to root for finally, and for the new fans that did come in to stick around now, like this, so you can see what it can do when you have fan support. And I know there's a lot of things going on Saturday nights in Arizona, but uh, we want our football games to be the most exciting thing, and I think that's what Coach Dillingham is trying to build, is an exciting product, and that's something that they gave this year. And I know people want to see wins, and so I'm sure they're going to have a great season next year in the 2025 season. Um, that's just something that I'm assuming all those seats are going to be sold out in every single game. So you see what happened. We went undefeated every single home game when fans showed up. So it's like having a 12th man on the field. So that's something that's the fans can play a major role into a team's success.
Where do you feel that you improved your game the most, and what do you feel, or what do you hope the scouts were able to see from your performance throughout the 2024 season?
Yeah, obviously I can do more things than just like be a receiver, just catching. I can play X and Z. I can play both sides of the ball. I can play special teams. I can block with the best of them. I can block safeties, corners, linebackers if you need me to be. Obviously, I wish I had more time to coach to be with Coach Hines Ward, but with the short time that I was with him, he improved my game a lot. And I'm gonna have to take those things when I do get my opportunity in the NFL. I know it's not gonna be a high round pick, or pick maybe probably undrafted, but I'm gonna find a way to use those skills that I had. And obviously, I wish I would have had the production opportunities that I had at Idaho State, which I know I could have. And I apologize to the Arizona State fans that didn't get to see that side of me, but I showed that I can, throughout my whole career, that I can you know make all the plays necessary that a really good NFL wide receiver can make. So I'm continue to hone those skills, use that as my superpower, just to learn every single day, get around people like Hines Ward, and just pick their brains on how to get better. And Lord willing, I get my opportunity, I'm just going to capitalize off it, and keep growing as much as possible, because I know I can. I have what it takes to do that for a long time in this game.
Speaking of Hines Ward, you
Yeah.
mentioned just the 1 year with him, unfortunately, but in that time, working with him, what were some of the most impactful things you were able to take away from your time with him that you think are going to be valuable for you when you're playing on Sundays?
Um, Man, just being a pro, it's not just about showing up and playing well. There's a lot of guys that can do that, that can just, go through the motions and play well, but I'm not one of them. For me, where I have to separate myself or anybody really, especially at the next level, because there's only 45 guys to a team instead of 100. Now you're dealing with only 5 receivers in a room instead of 15. So cutthroat in the NFL that you have to do everything to get an edge on somebody. Even being out here training in Florida, what Hines Ward taught me is just being first one there, just getting even if it's just getting extra catches, or just getting extra stretches, or extra conditioning. Like he had me, JT, he had the whole receiver group just doing extra gassers in the middle of the practice. If he saw that we were waiting around too long, while the scout team was going, or special teams was doing kickoff, he'd make us do some gassers, just quick, just to get that extra edge, just for conditioning. And that's why you saw him against Iowa State or BYU. We had that extra conditioning edge to go block down the field for guys. And so that's what he taught me. It's just being a pro in everything you do, how you eat, how you sleep, how you study your playbook. In the next level, that's that. Everybody always talks about that NFL playbook and having to learn. So that's something I'm going to have to really dial in. And I wish I would have had Coach Ward my whole career. I would have been, I would have had, been way more advanced. But I'm glad with the time that I had with him. And I'm still going to pick his brains, even though he's not my coach anymore. Technically, I still got his number. I'm still going to ask him questions, man. He's always free to reach out to stuff. So I'm thankful for him, and the messages that he tried to send to me and through all the other guys. But I'm gonna take all that work that we built in that, 8 months we were together, and try to take that to the next level. And whatever happens, just know that I can also take those skills to life after football too. Just preparing in everything I do, and just trying to be successful in terms of just my how I prepare and go about my life.
So with your college career now behind you, what would the Xavier Guillory today say to the Xavier, years ago that was just beginning the collegiate journey? What the most impactful advice, things have you picked up along the way?
Yeah, when I first came in, I had that same fiery, outwork everybody mentality. But I would say just have it be more controlled and more focused in what you want, or to put that fire in. Because you can have a burning passion, flaming fire, but if it's out of control, you can burn down a forest. Now, if you can able to control that, you can build a good fire to that you can tap into every once in a while. But just being able to control yourself mentally. I wish I would have had more of the right people to be around earlier in my career, and just not letting social media, or seeing what that guy's doing, what he's doing. Oh, I'm not good enough. Just being focused on where your feet are at right now. Getting into my word more, my getting to FCA, just going to church consistently, getting my Bible consistently, just being more mentally and spiritually aligned. Because I had the physical part, but you can have a Ferrari and no engine, and it's no good. So just having the right people to fuel you, the right things, outside sources to fuel you correctly, and I think that would have separated me even more. But my journey is my journey. I went through it, and now I got an opportunity to learn from my college journey. Hopefully, I can carve out a career in the NFL. I can use what I learned um, in college and apply that to how I can go about in my everyday life, in the next chapter.
And looking back over your 2 years in the maroon and gold, what were some of your favorite moments of your
hmm
Sun Devil career?
Man, mostly just like the in between moments that you don't really see too much. So obviously, the game days were very fun. BYU, or the rushing the field, um, even Utah rushing the field. Just all those moments were cool. But really, just what I'm gonna miss about ASU is just like the film room. Joking with the guys, or the locker room talks, or just even on and during practice while you're on the sideline getting water. Just the jokes that were being told. Those are the things and the bonds where you get close with your guys. And I was there for 2 years, and I made lifelong friendships. So um, yeah, those are some of my favorite moments, just at practice or at the film room, game room, the cafeteria. Those are those in between moments that you guys don't get to see, where that kind of, you don't forget about those moments.
What kind of impact has Kenny Dillingham had, obviously on the field, but also perhaps off the field as well as you embark upon the next chapter?
He gave me a shot. I was just a no name kid from Idaho State. He gave me a shot to come to Arizona State, and I took that opportunity. And he did as much as he could for me, man. And just he was a good dude. He helped change a lot of dudes' careers and their trajectories of where they were going. And he has a knack for finding talent without having to just go on the internet and look how many stars a guy has, or how many offers a guy has. Most of the guys on this team this year, I think pretty much most of the starters were either at a lower level college, a transfer, or a FCS school. Like, it's pretty. He has a knack for that, just to be able to find talent on his own without having to. So thankful for him just giving me the opportunity to be on that team and learn from a lot of you know great people. And that doesn't come around a lot, where people, even when I got my injury, he still believed in me, in the sense of where you get an injury like I had last year, Liz Frank foot injury. It's kind of like, well, shoot, is this guy going to be able to come back from that? He's going to be the same receiver. But he gave me the opportunity to go back and fight for a spot again, and that's what I did. And I just think I can just always appreciate a man that can give me an opportunity. And that's all I ask for. I'm not asking for any under the table agreement. I'm asking just for a straight up opportunity, and that's what he gave me. I respect that. And so I tip my hat to Kenny. I wish the best for him and for his career moving forward.
So during your 2 years in Tempe, how do you feel that your experiences as a Sun Devil player and on and off the field have have changed you and have shaped you as you go forward.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I didn't have the statistical career that I wanted, but beyond just that, I feel like when I transferred to Arizona State, my mind transferring in 2022 was just go to the school, best school possible, rack up numbers, go to the NFL. But the Lord didn't give me what I wanted; He gave me what I needed, and that was all the off the field stuff, all the stuff that I swept under the rug, my mentality, what I was focused on, what I was prioritizing, my foundation, and all that stuff was just off, and it just wasn't strong enough to be ready for what I was asking for. And when that Arizona State gave me the opportunity to go through struggles and see and kind of put that mirror in front of myself, like who I really am and what I need to work on. And he said put good people in my life, Steve Watson, Hines Ward, Coach Regal, so many good men that were able, even like good women too, that were like would sit down and get to know me and get to give me advice and stuff. So I didn't get what I wanted necessarily on the football field, but I know I have another opportunity to do that. But most importantly, I had a reset in who I was as a man, and knew I needed to calm down a little bit, be more assured in myself of who I am. And I feel like that helped me way more than just be on football. Like I'm gonna be a better, a boyfriend, husband, father, brother, nephew, son. I can apply all those things that I learned from Arizona State about myself and my time in Arizona, to become a better man. And I'm thankful for that. And as I go into the next chapter, becoming full grown man on my time, who's going to tell me what to do. And I'm glad I was able to have 2 years to figure out how to really live on my own, and control my own behaviors, and really just trusting the Lord, put all my faith in Him. And that's what really got me through to where I'm at right now. And I'm thankful for my time in the desert. The Lord sent me out all the way into the desert and 120-degree heat by myself, just focusing on getting better. And so the lessons I learned at ASU was just beyond football, and it was a blessing. I'm thankful. I want to have changed my time there for anything.
So looking forward, over the next couple months, leading up into the draft, and of course, the NFL circuit going to be opening up. What does your preparation look like? You mentioned that you're in Florida, hard at work. What are the next couple of months getting ready for the opportunity at the next level looking like for you?
Yeah, so I'm down here with Cam Scatterbull and Shamari. We train at the same Shamari Simmons. We're all training at the same spot in X3 in Fort Myers. So we down here just getting better, getting faster, jumping higher. But that's the easy part of like this whole process. You just go jump high, run what you run. I'm not gonna put too much. Obviously, I'm gonna go out there and try to do my best, but I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, you get to a camp, you got to know that playbook. You got to do your job. Like all that 40, you doesn't matter if you run 4.2 if you don't know what you're doing. Then you kind of just running around out there like a chicken with his head cut off. So right now, I'm just preparing for that moment. I know you only get one shot at this. It's a cutthroat. There's it's for me in my position. Statistic wise, it's looking like I'll probably go late round undrafted, which I'm okay with. Like I said, all I need is an opportunity. I don't need nobody to my whole since high school, I've always had to kind of figure out a way, and I have. But right now it's just preparing for when that opportunity comes. When those rookie mini camp comes around, training camp comes around. What am I gonna do to separate myself from the rest of the guys? Am I gonna go play special teams? Am I gonna go block harder than everybody? Am I going to finish down the field when I make a catch? Am I going to stay up an extra 30 minutes to an hour to study the playbook just so I can have that edge on somebody? So it's all at this point, just getting that edge on somebody and offering a team a wide variety of what I can do. Because especially in today's game, you need to be able to do more. Unless you really good at one thing, you got to be able to do a lot of things to offer, because they're investing money into you, a lot of money. And so what are you going to do to, give yourself as much options for them, to ask you why not to cut you, why he needs to stay on this team. So I'm gonna do my best to give him that whatever team takes a chance on me, I feel like they can get a gem for Not that much, obviously, just because I didn't get no senior invite or any combine invite, so it's looking like I'm gonna have to go through that route again, which I'm okay with, man. Like I said, all I need is an opportunity, and I'm gonna find a way. And just if I'm gonna bet on myself and go forward from there. But I'm excited for this next journey.
So of course, when you're playing on Sundays next fall, the Sun Devils will still be going at it. Who are some of the guys in Tempe that are going to be playing in that maroon and gold that you're most excited to watch, and as you're off in the pros?
I'm gonna watch everybody equally, but I'm gonna be really keeping my eyes on obviously the development of JT. I think he's gonna be the best receiver in the country next year. And obviously Sam Levitt, I think he's gonna be the best quarterback in the country next year. And because I don't really see anybody competing with him with what he can do. And then obviously I'm just gonna watch my guys. Ex offer. I want to see how CJ Fight does, and just all the guys. I just want to see them improve. And Lord willing, it'll be awesome to be in the pros next year, to where I can, if I want to give them hope in the sense that this is real and this is really gonna happen. And if I know, I'm excited to see how far they can go next year, and I hope they do it again, but even go farther than what we did this year. It's just the start, and I think Dillingham, I already know. I can already picture Dillingham going in the meeting room telling everybody that he doesn't care about last year anymore, and he's probably got those guys motivated about something. That's what we love. We love to hate, and driving off that motivate. But we're not so much the underdogs anymore. We're getting all this love, so the love can be very toxic, man. If you get too much of it, so they got to find a way just to reset, and whatever they tapped into, whatever we tapped into last year, tap into that again. I'm sure all this NIL stuff's gonna start booming for a lot of players. There's gonna be a lot more change around the building, a lot faster cars around the building. But I hope they stay focused on what's important, and that's the work and doing it right. But I'm excited to watch all the guys play next year, and I pray that they stay healthy and they have the career year that they've all dreamt and prayed about.
What are you going to miss most about playing for the Devils?
Um, hopefully I can say not the weather. Hopefully I can go somewhere warm again, but the weather out there and just the environment, man. Like going from Pocatello, Idaho to Tempe, Arizona, it's a big jump, man. And I do miss the environment. It was a cool experience, especially being. I'm glad I got there a little bit older, so I knew what how to kind of be out there in terms of a bigger city and what to do and what and who to hang out with. But it was a fun city, man. Lots to do, and a lot of good people too. And it wasn't too crazy. There wasn't like any scares or anything. It was just like a lot of college kids. Even just going to the movies was fun enough for me. Just especially when I got a girlfriend, man. We were just going to the movies, going out to dinner. A lot of good food out there. But I think that's what I'm gonna miss most about just the weather and the atmosphere. And I think a lot of recruits see that when they go on a visit to ASU as like, man, it's a place I would want to live in and play football at. So especially now that we're winning, it's not going to be a hard place to turn down. So I think that's hopefully I don't have to say I'm going to miss the weather if I'm in a cold place next year. But Cardinals, let me know, man. Like if you guys, I already like the city, so let me know something. But anyways, yeah, I'd probably say the atmosphere of Tempe, Arizona.
Okay, so I got to follow that up. I mean, you mentioned that there are a lot of good food spots that you like. What were some of your favorite places? What are the Guillory approved food spots in Tempe?
And I'm not gonna gatekeep. I'm not there anymore. So there's like a burrito spot on Tempe Marketplace. The Tempe Market. I actually say Tempe. There's a lot of hidden gems in Tempe Marketplace. Yogi's Grill. They got this rice and steak and avocado bowl that I got all the time. There's this place called Perfect Pair. They serve this BLT sandwich with the fry. Oh my gosh, it was so. It really depends on what you like, man. If I was more of like a rice protein and an avocado type guy with some chocolate. It was just simple. I was like a dog, man. I just ate the same kibble every day. but yeah, you go down to Tempe Marketplace, they got some good spots, perfect pair. You go out to Scottsdale, you're gonna have to do that after a good little paycheck because it gets a little pricey out there. And make sure you get an Uber because there's no parking space in Scottsdale, Arizona. But you can go to the mall area. They got some good food spots down there. But yeah, I can't really remember what the steak place is called. My Coach Ward brought us to, but they had these filet mignons, these tomahawk steaks, and all that stuff. That was a really good spot. But you're gonna have, yeah, like I said, after a good little paycheck, go to that. If you want to take your lady out to a nice little dinner, you should do that. But yeah, all them little spots, just let me know. I could probably recommend, hit me up on it or something. I could probably recommend a good spot for you to take you and your family to.
All right. So last one for you. Hopefully after as you're off in the NFL doing a lot of great things, 10 years down the road when Sun Devil fans are tailgating before the next home game and your name comes up, how do you hope you're remembered?
Like I said, I want them to remember me more than just my plays on the field. Like I know that's important and that's what helps, but I want them to remember my character in a sense. Even even when like I don't want to get too deep but even when my dad passed, like the things that his former teammates remembered about him was his character and how he was as a man. Not his all conference years, his Big Sky championship, like who he was as a man and how he went about his work. And so when Sun Devils fans, if I come back, I just want them to remember that, and that means I did well, and I did it for more than just myself. I didn't want to just be selfish, and um, it's bigger than us. That's what I wish a lot of athletes got, that it's bigger than you when you're playing. Um, but there's a lot of people that are watching you and wish that could be in your position. And so being thankful for that and just going to work with that mentality is that, there's a lot of people watching you, rooting for you, and hoping that you do succeed. Even people that you don't think that are watching are rooting for you. So hopefully in 10 years I come back and they that's the first thing they say is just like, man, like I respect that dude, and for how he went about his work. So that's hopefully I'll have a wife and kids by then, so I can bring my kids and stuff like my dad did with me back at his alma mater. So I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna come back and rep my people. Hopefully they should give us a Big 12 championship ring, right? Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I should have a ring. I don't know. I never really won anything at Idaho State, so I'm not sure about rings and stuff. But here, like, cool. I'll walk around my ring during that time, just be proud of my time there, and yeah, it's definitely a great spot to go visit. So thank you guys, Sun Devil fans, and yeah, it was an honor.
I'd like to thank Xavier for taking the time to talk with me for this episode. Make sure you are subscribed to Speak of the Devils in the podcast platform of your choice, as well as YouTube for more great episodes all off season long. And make sure to follow me on social media at bdenny29.